Struggling with por versus para? Ditch the textbook and try this geography trick. Discover the geography trick.
Welcome to This Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled you're here today because, let's be honest, we are about to profoundly shift how you think about one of the absolute trickiest topics in language learning. I mean, if you've ever found yourself completely stuck, sweating over the choice between por and para, I want you to know it's not your fault. It's simply because your brain is exhausted from memorizing abstract rules. So today, we're taking those heavy, confusing grammar textbooks and we're literally throwing them out. Instead, I'm going to share a brilliant geography trick that actually maps these two prepositions directly onto physical space. We're going to build a mental framework so you can finally master native-level precision. And honestly, the best part? Absolutely no rote memorization required. Zero. Let's get into it. Think back to how you were probably taught this in high school or college. That old way was all about handing you these massive, overwhelming lists of grammar rules and telling you to just memorize acronyms like perfect or dream, right? But the new way, what we call the Geographic Compass, completely bypasses all of that. It relies entirely on your native spatial instinct. Instead of drowning in mental gymnastics, you just visualize physical space. The difference is night and day. That old way puts this massive cognitive load on your brain, making you overthink every word. But the elegant simplicity of the Geographic Compass lets you treat language naturally, exactly like you'd read a physical map.
So here's how we're going to break this all down today. First, we'll dive into this whole anti-textbook revolution and why the old rules fail us. Then we'll build out your spatial compass model. From there, we'll take that compass and map out space, time, and abstract intent. After that, we're going to do a really fun interactive test of your new spatial instincts. Then I'll walk you through a modern 2026 style fluency routine you can use every day. And finally, I'm giving you the ultimate one-page cheat sheet to take with you.
Okay, let's kick things off with the anti-textbook revolution, because we really need to understand why the traditional approach has been holding us back. Let's take a quick second to just validate the frustration you've likely felt. If you've ever frozen mid-sentence wondering, wait, is it por or para? Listen, the traditional methods are fundamentally flawed for real-time conversation. Most students fail because they are taught to treat por and para just as vocabulary words to be swapped in and out. But here's the secret. Native speakers don't use lists. They use a spatial instinct. Think about it. When you try to use an acronym like DREAM in the middle of a fast-paced chat, you're practically doing complex math in your head. By the time your brain remembers what the P even stands for, was it purpose, was it point in time, the moment is completely gone. You're left standing there translating rules instead of actually connecting and communicating. That brings us to our core solution, the spatial compass model. This is where things get really fun. We are officially replacing all those clunky rules with one singular, highly intuitive visual model. I want you to start thinking of your brain like a compass, and here is the first half of that secret map. Por is the fluid path. Right now, just picture a flowing, dotted yellow line moving across a map. Por is the journey itself. It's the continuous movement through physical space, the ongoing duration through time, or a fluid exchange passing through someone's hands. It is the scenic route. There is no dead end here. It's simply movement passing freely through a medium. Now, flip that concept completely. Para is the fixed target. I want you to visually picture a bold red X on a treasure map, or better yet, a solid brick wall. Para is absolute finality. It is that physical or metaphorical wall where all of that fluid movement completely stops. Bam, dead end. It's the final recipient finally holding the gift, or the ultimate, non-negotiable deadline on your calendar. Whenever you need to use para, visualize the exact destination where the journey definitively ends. So how do we take this cool visual map and actually use it for grammar? Let's map out space, time, and intent. Now that you have this physical compass, that flowing dotted line of por and the solid brick wall of para, we can take that exact same spatial logic and seamlessly apply it to totally abstract concepts. And honestly, it is beautifully consistent. Look at how this scales. In physical space, walking through a park is a fluid route, so that's por. But saying salgo para Madrid means Madrid is the literal wall your trip hits. It's the destination, so that's para. How about time? The ongoing journey or duration through time is por, while a fixed final deadline where time stops is para. And for abstract intent, a flowing action like an exchange through hands is por, but saying este regalo es para ti makes the recipient the absolute dead end of the gift's journey, making it para. It's literally the exact same internal map every single time. All right, enough theory. It is time to test your spatial instincts. I really want you to actively challenge yourself here. We're going to do a quick interactive navigation quiz. Trust your new internal map. Forget the grammar rules entirely. Don't go searching for those old acronyms. Just visualize the space, the movement, and the destination. Okay, scenario 1. Imagine a journey to a destination. The sentence is, Camino la playa, llegar al hotel. Ask yourself, which part of this sentence is the fluid path you are passing through, and which part is the solid wall where your walking actually ends? Just take a second to visualize that in your mind. Got it? The answer is, Camino por la playa para llegar al hotel. Por la playa is your path. You're moving continuously through the space of the beach, right? But para el hotel is the wall. The hotel is your ultimate destination, where your walking stops. You pass through por to hit para. Simple as that. Let's try scenario 2. You're giving a gift to someone. The sentence is, Este regalo es de ti. Now, visualize a flying arrow. Does the action of giving just pass through the person, or does it hit a target? Are they a scenic route, or are they a bullseye?
Of course, it's para ti. Para is absolutely correct here because the gift travels through space and completely stops at the recipient. The person receiving the gift is the ultimate target. They are the bullseye where the entire movement of giving concludes.
Okay, third and final quiz scenario. You are embarking on a trip. The phrase is, Salgo blank Madrid. Close your eyes and see the map. Is Madrid just a scenic route you're casually driving through on your way somewhere else? Or is Madrid the end of the line?
You nailed it. It's para Madrid. The crucial takeaway here is that Madrid is the literal wall your trip hits. It represents the absolute finality of your travel intent. You aren't just passing through. Your movement ends when you arrive. You hit the mark.
So, how do we make this permanent? Let's move into the 2026 Fluency Routine. We want this mental model to become completely 100% instinctive for you. Modern AI-integrated language learning tools for 2026 and beyond are completely shifting away from memorizing dictionaries. Instead, they encourage learners to actively build these geographic compasses in their minds. And I challenge you to start building yours in your own home today with something called spatial labeling. Shift your brain from reciting rules to actually mapping your environment. When you take the physical action of walking through a hallway or a door, think to yourself, por la puerta. You are passing through a space. It's a fluid route. When you set a plate on the table for dinner, think para la cena. The dinner is the final target, the ultimate purpose where that action stops. Whether you're sending an email to a boss, which makes them the target, para, or walking through a park, the path, por, narrating your daily household and professional routines this way actively rewires your brain to literally feel the language spatially.
Finally, let's wrap this all up with the ultimate cheat sheet. This is your one-page anti-textbook summary. Go ahead, take a screenshot right now, save it to your phone, and permanently ditch those old grammar lists. The Geographic Compass boils everything down beautifully. Your preposition por is the fluid path, visually represented by a dotted line or a scenic route. Its movement logic is always about passing through space, the duration of time, or fluid exchange. On your internal lap, it simply represents the journey. Conversely, your preposition para is the fixed target, visually a brick wall or a bullseye. Its logic is the dead end, the final deadline, or the ultimate recipient. On your internal map, it is the destination. This cleanly replaces the old, exhausting way of memorizing 20-plus isolated rules for things like exchange versus purpose, swapping them out for one unified, crystal-clear sense of spatial direction.
It's time to replace all that guesswork with a strong visual sense of direction. Always remember this core truth. The journey is por, the target is para. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. If this spatial trick finally made this concept click for you, let us know. And leave us with this thought. Which tricky Spanish rule should we remap for you next?
Por versus para finally makes sense. Learn Spanish the smart way. Subscribe and follow Spanify for more.